What's up, y'all? My name is Devontae, and I sacrificed my time so you don't have to. I'm going to just preface this off rip. I'm just going to say it outright. AEW deserves every single downfall they get going forward. AEW fans deserve to be laughed at every step going forward. AEW management deserves to be clowned every step going forward. This is what happens when you take your eye off the fucking ball. This is what happens when you're so distracted by minuscule things that the main target, the main goal slips your mind. You started AEW to be an alternative. That was the whole goal. The whole goal was to provide an alternative to what WWE was doing at the time, and I would presume that it is now. Now, it doesn't seem that way because you fucking marks always have your eyes diverted doing other personal bullshit that you let the guy that's in front of you get even further in front of you. You had it, bruh. And you still can go back there. You just have to readjust. You just have to focus. This isn't a bashing video in the sense that I want to see the demise of AEW. Far from it. What I see this as is me bringing this up to everybody's attention, and hopefully this is a wake-up call to AEW. Now, let me set this premise up for you guys first off. Before I even go directly into the AEW numbers, because I know you've seen the thumbnail, before I even get into that, let me set this up for you. Like I said, when I post my stuff on my community post, 9 times out of 10, unless it's like a poll or something, I'm doing it for a reason. Check this out real quick. Articles down in the description box below. CM Punk is all set to make his in-ring comeback in the Stanford-based promotion after almost a decade away. His much-anticipated appearance is just a few hours away as the best of the world, or the best in the world, is making his squared circle return in WWE during tonight's edition of the Madison Square Garden event. This house show is part of the company's holiday tour just before the end of the year. Every year, WWE visits the world's most famous arena and delivers a premium live event quality match card despite just being a live event. The upcoming December house show also features a stat card including 2 scheduled title defenses. Right? So check this out. As we approach the show, recent statistics on ticket sales have been revealed, making history for WWE. According to stats from WrestleOps, WWE has managed to sell out 15,300 tickets, setting a record-breaking achievement. This marks the highest number of tickets the company has sold from Madison Square Garden in the past 8 years. This is what the stats report from WrestleTix. Tonight's WWE show in New York is set to mark the company's highest recorded attendance in MSG in over 8 years. Mind you, because I'm not going to go directly into the rest of the article because it's just pretty much just glazing the shit out of CM Punk. I'm not here for that right now at the moment. I'm here to make a broader point. That was a live event. For some of you people who don't know what that means, for some of you old heads, you probably hear the word live event, you're like, what the hell is a live event? It's a house show. Yes, a house show. A dark taping for the most part. That's what it is. They sold 15,000 tickets to a fucking house show. AEW wish they can get that on some of their fucking pay-per-views, and WWE just randomly does it on a house show. Why? Because they have all their dominoes intact. They have all their cards lined up. I said that backwards. You get what I'm trying to say, though. They're solid. They're rock solid. They have a brilliant foundation as far as how they're working right now. Going forward to the Royal Rumble, everybody's hyped up for the Royal Rumble. You have CM Punk right there. You have a nice feud going right now with Seth Rollins and Drew McIntyre, which, by the way, is starting to broad out to see whether or not you're going to have Seth Rollins and CM Punk do their thing. You have Drew McIntyre in an interesting character change. You still have the Judgment Day with Rhea Ripley. You're still wondering right now what's going to happen going on with Roman Reigns and Randy Orton or AJ Styles. You still have Santos Escobar in the mid card. Hell, even the developmental system is still pretty decent right now with what's going on with Carmelo Hayes and Trick Williams. You have the imminent return or waiting right now with Sasha Banks around the corner, which is pretty obvious at this point she's going to return at the Royal Rumble. My point being is there are so many things to look forward to when talking about WWE. So many things. Well, even little small things around the corner that people aren't even thinking about, like the news breaking a couple of days ago that they're really thinking about separating the tag team championship belts. Just news reports at the news reports, good standings at the good standings, record breaking second. It's just ridiculous what's going on in WWE right now. You know why? You know why? You know where that all stemmed off from for the most part? How WWE got all that goodwill for fans to give it more attention? It came off the back of what was going on with the Bloodline and Sami Zayn late last year, early this year, excuse me. That's where it came off of. That was the back that it was on top of to get into the position that it's currently in right now. Now, I want you guys to do me a favor. Sit back and I want to read you what's currently going on with AEW. Because again, the majority of you came for the thumbnail. So, check this out real quick. AEW's return to Daily's Place signifies sad drop in attendance numbers. Yes, you heard me right. They're returning to Daily's Place. AEW has a lot of plans for the new year, and that includes a stop by Daily's Place once again. That venue was the company's home during the pandemic, and it hosted several notable moments in the company's history. Now, they aren't even planning to fill half. They're not even of the amphitheater. This is ridiculous. WrestleTix noted that AEW's return to Daily's Place isn't doing amazing numbers. They can't even fucking fill up half of Daily's Place damn near. Their January 10th show has 587 tickets available, but it is the capacity they have set up for that is concerning. If you see the thumbnail, you can see where I'm going with this, but they said available tickets is 587. The current setup, as far as the capacity of the arena in itself, is 2,511. The tickets that they sold so far, 1,924. So again, yes, 587 tickets available. Nearly 600 tickets available 2 weeks out from your show in Daily's Place. You can't even fucking sell out the arena you pretty much had all your shows at during the COVID era. But here's the thing, though. Because you guys had to know this was going to be a thing eventually, right? You had to know eventually this is the road that they were going to go down towards. Because when you consistently go out of your way to rely so fucking much, that is just ad nauseum, you rely so much on what the marks tell you to rely on. The in-ring stuff. We need to see more tournaments. We need to see more collaborations with New Japan Pro Wrestling. We need to see more wrestlers going over to AAA and bringing them over as actual superstars who can main event pay-per-view shows with guys like MJF, who has no one to bounce off of, because everybody, for the most part, as far as the relatively young talent or some of the newer faces, are so terribly beneath MJF. And then you have some of the old heads who can't go anymore, minus a Christian or an Edge, who are preoccupied with their story that have pretty much for the most part been ruined because you jumped the shark so fucking much with that terrible conclusion that they had in their match a couple of weeks ago, and you keep distancing themselves from Dynamite and putting them on Collision, thinking to yourself that people are going to watch Collision because Edge and Christian happen to be on there, when you have no story to detail or map out for us to even want to sink our teeth into, that you legitimately had there with all the fanfare that Edge garnered for your company, as little as it was about 2 months ago. When you have all these things piled up, When you have AEW fans who want to sit there and gaslight you and tell you that AEW is in a perfect position by taking minute numbers and statistics and presenting it to you and saying they're actually beating WWE in this category, this minute category, as if that's what we're focusing on in the grand scheme of things when looking at everything that's going on right now between both companies. They deserve this. AEW as a company deserves this for listening to these assholes. AEW fans deserve this for gaslighting, some of them gaslighting the fucking management, and then them constantly presenting the same overly indulgent bullshit product that they currently have at the moment, that you have to sit back and you fucking know. The thing that kills me the most about all this with the AEW fans and the AEW faithful and talking about AEW as a whole as if they're actually, again, presenting something alternative and, again, trying to gaslight you with this nonsensical bullshit that gets on my fucking nerves so much, is that they want to claim so much. Look at the good wrestling that's currently happening in AEW at the moment. As if you can't go to New Japan Pro Wrestling, as if I know you haven't gone to New Japan Pro Wrestling. Right now, you're building up in the Wrestle Kingdom. You've seen good wrestling already in a company that legitimately thrives off of that. That's their entire niche. You can get that for New Japan Pro Wrestling. The strong style wrestling. The same thing can be said for the Mexico or AAA Mexican wrestling companies. Lucha Libre, you get it from them. Whether you're talking about them or CMLL, doesn't matter. You get your fix from that. How much fucking wrestling does one need? So your idea of calling yourself an alternative is taking what New Japan Pro Wrestling has carved out as a niche as far as their specific wrestling style and doing the exact same thing to Mexico with CMLL and AAA and bringing that to the States and thinking that is an alternative. Because it's funny, people sometimes misconstrue, and I think they do this on purpose. I see guys like Solomonster do this a lot. I see guys like Brian Zane do this a lot. And I even see some of you in the audience do this who try to kowtow for AEW and try to fucking walk with their water. No. You guys like to present things and say things along the lines of, oh, story is being told in the ring. That is the story in itself, as if we've come to AEW to watch the story being told in the fucking ring. You presenting your nonsensical traditional wrestling aspect of fucking selling. You want to tell me that the aspect of selling a character or selling the moves in the fucking ring is what we would consider story overall, as if we're not talking about fucking angles. That's the part that kills me when it comes to the gaslighting, and that's why they're in the position that they're in right now. Because you have wrestling fans who gaslight these dumb motherfuckers into believing they're actually telling a story, and in regards to the story, they're talking about, look at what they're doing in the ring. As if they haven't borrowed all this shit from New Japan Pro Wrestling or AAA and presented it to an American audience who's already fucking familiar. If you're watching AEW legitimately on a consistent basis, 9 times out of 10, you're familiar with Japan. You're familiar with Mexico. What more do you want that has not been presented already from these two companies? And then when we try to bring up story, again, you try to bring up selling. And then you try to misconstrue that as story. As if that's what we're talking about. As if we're not talking about angles. As if we're not talking about actually presenting it like a legitimate fucking television show. That's what I'm talking about. I want to see storylines. I want to see developments happening from linear point A to point B throughout the night, every week, building up into a pay-per-view and giving me a conclusion or a climax to go to the next pay-per-view, which can also be a climax or a conclusion. My point being is, I want to see story, not selling. Your contrived bullshit in regards to storytelling is selling. Stop trying to gaslight me and telling me that the in-ring action in itself is storytelling, and that in itself means that AEW is telling stories. You are bullshitting me, and you are bullshitting yourself, and all you're doing is harming the wrestling business by consistently making AEW believe that they're doing the right fucking thing, because look where they're at right fucking now. They are back in Daly's place, and they can't even sell that out. They can't even sell that out. They have now, for the most part, put themselves into the same position that TNA was in when they had to leave fucking... Because I can't even say that. I can't even say that, because at least TNA, for the fucking most part, they just so happened to go up against WWE at a time when they were actually somewhat, like, not even booming, but like at the very, very least, way popular than where they are at right now. TNA stood no chance in hell against WWE at that point in time. They didn't. Whereas AEW, you had a chance. I can't even make that a proper comparison to say that you're on TNA standards. I can't even do that. There were so many opportunities. So many opportunities, and you just squandered all of it. People can say what they want. Oh, AEW this, AEW that. They just need to focus. Fucking readjust your fucking stupid ass mentality and focus. Focus. You know what makes a crazy person crazy? You know what makes a retard? When they consistently do things over and over and over again when it's already been a proven failure. If you cannot walk through a fucking wall, why do you keep walking into the wall? Especially when there's a fucking door right there. Why do you keep doing this to yourselves? I want you to survive. I want you to succeed. I want you to be competition to WWE. If for nothing else, it makes WWE even more livelier. It benefits all wrestling fans rather than just benefiting your stupid ass cult. It just makes no fucking sense to me. Now you're in Daly's place. And the worst part about it is, they're just going to try to redirect and make up excuses as to why they're in Daly's place, rather than focusing on the actual problem at hand and trying their best to fix it. How is this not pathetic to you AEW fanboys out there? I can understand AEW management being a couple of dipshits because they can't admit defeat. When assholes like Chris Jericho is a part of your fucking management for the most part, and please don't gaslight me and say anything else different. We fucking know Jericho, the Young Bucks, and Kenny Omega, especially with CM Punk not being able to block any of their fucking dumb ideas. It's pretty fucking clear, at the most part, who's the influence in that company, and you see how they act on social media. It's pathetic. It's fucking pathetic. There's nowhere to go but down. You know what? No. There's nowhere to go. There's nowhere to go but up from here, AEW. Just for the love of God. For the love of God. You won't see this video. Oh, fuck. It's so frustrating because it's like you have the people who get the most views who just kiss their asses, man. Oh, when they need to hear something like this. They need to hear something like this. I'm not even trying to fucking say that I'm the best at speaking or being the best to actually go out of my way to linguistically fucking, fucking translate this. Because I know I sound like a mark myself right now, but it's a mark that I'm sounding like that's looking out for the benefit of the wrestling business, not just for their own specific fans or their fucking friends or their fandom. Oh, it's so pathetic. It's so pathetic. All I can say is AEW, bro, man, it's so sad. It's so sad. AEW, you know what? Do what you want. That's all I can say, man. At least WWE's hot right now. But there will be a point in time where WWE will get cold again. And it could have been you as the alternative where we could have been looking at and saying to ourselves, well, at least we have this. Man, folks, let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. Do you see where I'm coming from with this, man? I'm speaking from the heart, man. I'm trying my best to speak from the heart. I don't want to see the demise of AEW. I don't want to see anything happen to them. I really, really don't. But when you make so many astronomical dumb shit decisions, and then you coincide that with doing personal shit that has nothing to do with professional wrestling, and these are the results of your actions in comparison to what your supposed competition, because at this point, how can you actually sit here and say that they're competing on any kind of basis outside of the fact that they are competition? Let me know your thoughts on the comment section below. Then I have to watch this stupid ass show tonight and review it. Yes, folks, I will be reviewing Dynamite tonight. Card ain't looking good as usual. We got a triple threat match for a fucking unsanctioned belt that no one gives a shit about. That has no prestige to it whatsoever, and everything that happens in regards to results ain't gonna benefit anybody in the end of the day. But we're having a nonsensical tournament rather than actually focus on an angle we can, sink our teeth into. That they're going to try to present some story that no one fucking cares about or no one's keeping up with because you're not engaging with anyone, or you're putting on stupid ass shows like Collision or Rampage. You're going to say, whoa, look at this. This is the story right here, Devontae. This is the angle right here. This side quest. It's the fucking main idea. Go ahead. Yeah, right. Fucking up my ass. Go for it. Tell me right now. Go for it. Yep. Random cutscenes and universe modes rather than the actual fucking storylines that you make yourselves inside the fucking rivalry system. Yeah, totally. Present that to me and tell me that's fucking angles and stories at the end of the day. Or try to tell me that's selling in the ring. That's the story right there, Devontae. Yeah, go ahead. Keep trying to sell me that fucking dream, okay? That's why you're in the spot that you're currently in right now, AEW fanboys. And that's why you're in the spot that you're currently in right now, AEW. And you know what? Couldn't happen to a nicer fucking company. Get your head on straight and get your head out of your asses.